This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. It's Monday, 31st of October, one of my favorite days. It's Halloween. Halloween. So if you celebrate Halloween, happy Halloween to you. If you're not, then it's the last day of the month, and we're heading into fall after all of this beautiful weather that we've had. So keep warm, everybody, the next few weeks as the temperatures change. We're going to be working on the low back today. We're going to start standing up. So if everyone would come to their mats and stand, I'd just like to give a couple of tips how to support your low back. So when you stand on your mat, let's get into our good posture with the feet at hip width. And slightly feel like your feet are turning outwards. It's that little dialing out that's engaging into your muscles, into your legs. You should feel the hips engaging just slightly. Now, keeping your feet at hip width, I'd like you to bend forward from the hips. Let your hips go back. Now, once you get almost parallel to the floor, let your arms hang there for a moment and notice what's going on in your low back. The low back will contract to hold the upper part of the body. Now bend your knees and place your hands on your thighs and notice how that supports the low back. Okay? Take your arms away and notice the low back. Perhaps it's not so much straining as much as it is contracting to support. Bring your hands back onto your thighs and notice that you can relax the low back now. And coming back up to standing. Now this is just physics. If you place your hands on your thighs, you are helping the low back by taking off some weight of the upper body. So the low back doesn't need to strain to hold that weight, okay? Because when you lean forward, that weight goes out forward and the low back will contract to hold you there. Placing your hands here will help release that. That is often the reason why when I have you stand up, I have you place your hands on your thighs to help you lift up. That supports the low back. The second small exercise is to open your feet as wide as possible. You can continue doing the gentle dialing out of the feet and go into a deep open squat position. Hands are just above the knees, supporting the low back. And imagine you're going to pick up something heavy in front of you. This is the way you need to do it to support the low back. Pretend like you're grabbing that heavy thing. Use your legs and push down through the floor to lift. Now, you all probably know, because this has been drilled into us by doctors, physiologists, and sports medicine doctors, that we should no longer go forward with a rounded back and lift something heavy. We need to go squatting, use the strength of the legs, of the hips, to grab something heavy and lift. So I'd like everyone to do this 10 times. It's just re-educating the brain on how we move. So feet are wide, toes are pointed out to the side. Sink down into a deep squat. Pretend like you're picking up something heavy. Use your legs, push down through the floor to come to standing. That's one. Do it again. Hips back. Keep curving the low back. Push down through the floor to lift. That's two. Keeping going. Sinking down. Nice deep open squat. Grab something, coming up to standing. That's three. Keep going. Feet are wide. So you sink down. Use your legs. This is an excellent workout for your legs. Open squat. Here comes number 5. Feel the legs, hips, glutes working. Number 6. Down and up. Toes are pointing out. Yes, that's right. Knees go out to the sides as you sink down. That's 7. You have 3 more. Remember, the back stays neutral. No rounding of the back, and especially the low back lumbar region. Yes. 2 more times. And here's the last one. Whoo, yeah, good. Very nice, everyone. Step your feet in. So your feet are once again at hip width. Move the hips from side to side. You will have felt a little bit the low back there. We were just retraining so that you use these strong muscles in the legs rather than using your back when you pick up something from the floor. Now softly bend the knees, and we're going to do a little stretch of the lumbar region. To do this, tilt your hips forward. So you're here, tilt your hips forward and under. It's not a position I recommend when we're doing positions that we hold, isometric contractions, but for a stretch, this is okay. Hips go forward, belly in, reach your arms far out in front of you, clasp your hands together and drop your head. And you should feel there's a deep stretch that goes up on through the low back, as well as the upper back, shoulders, and neck. And we'll hold here. Pull the belly in tight. Hold for 5 breaths. That's it. Good. Round, round, round the spine. Hips forward. Excellent. Really good, everyone. 3. Yes. 2. And 1. Release the hands coming up to standing. Good. Let's roll the shoulders a few times. To roll your shoulders, you just make nice big circles and get soft in the knees. A little bouncing, and the shoulders go forward, up, and round. And it's as if you're rowing a boat, like you're rowing with your arms. They can come forward, back, and around. Good. And let's change directions. Bring the arms forward and then back. Rounding. Let the shoulders go back first before lifting and rounding forward. Good. And then straightening out the legs, raise your arms, grab your right wrist, and stretch over to the left. So go over to your left. Keep your head in line with your spine. So we don't want to drop the head. We want to look straight forward. One more deep breath in. And come up to standing. Change arms. Grab a hold of your left wrist and stretch over to the right. Keep the feet stable. Keep your head in line with the spine. And it's sort of curving over to the side. 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. Bring your arms behind you and clasp the hands behind you, stretching the arms as straight as possible. Open the chest, lift your chin just slightly. Feel like there's a stretch from the front of the throat to the chest, down to the belly. And then relax. It's my Siri. Shake out your arms and take a big step forward till you're at the front edge of your mat. Okay, ladies, we're going to start the warm-up. Keep your knees soft. Keep your hips back so you keep a little bit of curve in the back. Open the shoulders, lift the chin, and you find your perfect posture. The arms are straight by your sides. Hands come to the heart center now. Take a deep breath in and raise the arms up. Now, as we bend forward, this protects the low back. You know this. Bring the hips back. Get into that squat position. This is why we do the sun salutation in this way. It protects your low back when you get into a squat. You're using your legs. Fingertips come to the floor and step your feet back one at a time. Big steps to plank position. Plank position is an excellent position for your low back because we're pulling in the belly button. We're tightening up the transversus abdominis, which wraps around to the low back. Lower your knees now and slowly lower your chest to the floor. Pointing your toes, lengthen your legs out behind you. Now we're going to do a few cobras. While you do the cobras, I want you to feel like your tailbone is pushing towards your heels. This helps to lengthen and create space for the lumbar region. So push the tailbone down towards the heels. That's going to contract your glutes and push down. Here we go. We rise 3 times. 1, and lower back down. Keep the glutes squeezed, tailbone pushing down. 2, and last time. Deep breath in as you rise. 3. Push onto your hands and knees. Now this stretch is a beautiful stretch for the lumbar region. Hands go off the right-hand side of the mat, left hand on top. You'll press your hips back, and you can feel the stretch. It goes through the shoulder, of course, through the side body, but also all the way down to the lumbar region on the left-hand side. Coming up and change sides. The exact muscle that's being stretched here is called the quadratus lumborum. QL, quadratus lumborum. Coming back up, bring your hands now underneath your shoulders. And we're going to do cat and cow here. Take a deep breath in, curl the spine, and breathe out and round. Breathing in, curling. This is mobilizing all of the vertebra in the spine. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Coming back to a flat back. Step your hands forward, tuck your toes, and rise to downward facing dog. Turn your toes to the right and bend the knees and bounce. 3, 2, 1, and we'll turn the toes to the left and we'll bounce. 3, 2, 1. Turn your toes forward again. Pick up your right foot and begin stepping forward. Right foot first, then the left. Lift your hands up so your fingers, just the tips of the fingers, touch the floor. Bend your knees low. Now this is what we looked at before. Hands go to your thighs and you help your chest up. This is fantastic to help the low back in this way. Staying in a little squat. Raise your arms by your ears. And here we strengthen the legs as well as the low back. And we bounce. 3, 2, 1. Coming up to standing. Re-find your perfect posture. Knees are soft. Hips slightly back. Low back gently curved. Shoulders wide. Chin parallel to the floor. And we'll start again. Hands to the heart center. We go slowly, everyone. Take your time. Deep breath in, rise. And we fold. Elbows come to knees. You get into that squat position and hold it for a moment. Then the fingertips come to the floor. Stepping back into a plank position, and we'll hold. Pull the belly in. 3, 2, 1. Softly lower your knees. Softly lower your chest. Pointing your toes, lengthen your legs. Push your tailbone towards your heels. You squeeze your glutes tight to really get that locked in. And we rise 3 times. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your chest back down. Push up onto your hands and knees. Woo. Left hand off the mat. Right hand on top. Stretching quadratus lumborum. Coming back. Right hand off the mat. Left hand on top. Pressing back. Good. Back up. Hands under the shoulders. Cat and cow. Breathe in and curve. Breathe out and round. And again, breathe in and curve. Breathe out and round. Once more, breathing in, curving. Breathing out, rounding. Coming back to a flat back, step your hands forward, tucking your toes, coming to down dog. Turn your toes to the left and bounce. 3, 2, 1. Turn your toes to the right and bounce. 3, 2, 1. Turn your feet forward. This time, left foot stepping forward. Small steps, small steps. Coming all the way forward, bend your knees low. Here's the important part. Hands to thighs. Lift your chest, help your low back. Raise the arms to the ears and bouncing. 3, 2, 1. All the way up to standing. We're gonna run through that 2 more times. Tiny bit faster, okay? Find your perfect posture. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise. Folding, elbows go towards the knees, and then step back to your plank position. Holding, 3, 2, keep the belly flat. 1, lower your knees, lower down. Point your toes, squeeze your glutes, press the tailbone towards the heels and lift. 3, 2, 1. Push up onto the hands and knees. Right hand off the mat, left hand on top. Stretching, quadratus lumborum. Coming back up, other side. Stretching. Coming back up, cat and cow. Breathe in as you curl. Breathe out as you round. Breathing in, curling. Breathing out, rounding. Once more, breathe in and curl. Breathing out, rounding. Come back, step your hands forward, tucking the toes under, down dog. Turn your toes to the right, bouncing. 3, 2, 1. Turn to the left and bouncing. 3, 2, 1. Turn forward, right foot comes forward, stepping the rest of the way forward. Bend your knees low, hands to thighs, lift. And arms by the ears, pressing down. 3, 2, 1. All the way up to standing, last round. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise. Folding, elbows come to knees all the way down. Stepping back, plank. Hold the plank, lift your chin. 3, 2, belly in. 1, lower your knees. Lower your chest. Point your toes, squeeze your glutes tight, press the tailbone towards the heels. Rising. 3, 2, 1. Push up onto your hands and knees. Hands off the left-hand side of the mat, press back. Change sides, hands off the right-hand side, press back. Back to center, cat and cow. Breathing in, curling. Breathing out, rounding. One more time. Back to a flat back, step your hands forward. Tuck your toes, rising to down dog. Turn the toes to the left and bounce. 3, 2, 1. Turn the toes to the right and bounce. 3, 2, 1. Turn them forward. Left foot comes up. Stepping it forward. Step the rest of the way. Hands to thighs. Lift the chest. Arms by your ears. Bounce down here. 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way up to standing. Set your hands at your low back, just here, and make circles on either side of the low back. So this is the lumbar region, and you're just going to massage here. That's it. Giving yourself some warmth. Excellent. Now here's a very interesting little massaging exercise for the back. I want you to turn your hands so that the fingers point forward, and you're going to pull the tissues with your thumbs. Pull the tissues from your low back forward and over the hip bones towards your belly button. You'll do this 5 times. So pull them up and forward. This is the way some of the fascia works around the waist and around the lumbar region. And it's also massaging the transversus abdominis. Super interesting. One more time. Okay. Bending both knees softly. I want you to lift your right knee and pull the right knee up to the chest. So this movement and this position in and of itself already stretches a bit the right-hand side of the lumbar region. Now bring the thigh parallel to the floor, so your arms will straighten out. Keep your knee with the left hand. Set the right hand to the right hip. You can just let the foot hang in the air. And begin turning your chest and your shoulders. And look over your right shoulder behind you. If possible, raise your right arm behind you and reach behind you. So keeping the position, right arm behind you, turning your head and look at your right arm and hold 3, 2, 1. Unwind and bring the foot down. Good job. All right, hands to hips. Knees are soft, hips are back. We'll do the other side. Lift your left knee up, clasp it, and pull it up as high as possible to start. That's a little stretch of the lumbar region and of the hip. Hold for a moment. And then softly lower the thigh until it's parallel to the floor. Keep your right hand on the left knee. Left hand goes to the left hip. And turn towards your left as far as possible. And then if you're ready, stretch the arm out behind you and look at your left thumb. Holding here, twisting through the spine. 3, 2, 1. Unwind and lower the foot. Hands to hips. Very good. We'll bend the knees, hips, move back a bit, and step your right foot behind you in a small step behind. Turn the foot so that the toes point out to the right and the heel points inwards. This is a small warrior 2 position. We'll bend both knees, squatting back. Remember about in the beginning of class how we talked about the hips going back. You use the thighs and the back stays neutral. Bring your left elbow to your left thigh so the back is long, and we're going to get into a deep, deep twist. Bring your right hand to your right hip and open your chest to the right. Turning the head, look to the sky. So the twist goes deep into the lumbar region. And if you want to take it farther, raise your right arm to the sky and lift the chest even more away from the hips. Feel what's going on in the low back. Please don't go into any pain. And we stay here 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring the right hand down and set both hands on the left thigh. Lift your chest. So here we're helping the low back. Now, keep the right knee bent and softly straighten your left leg. It's often been said that sometimes low back issues come from having a very tight hamstring, okay? So we're going to go a deep stretch into the hamstring. The left leg is stretched out in front of you. Slide your hands down as far as possible while keeping neutral spine. So I don't want you to round out over the leg. You keep neutral spine as far as possible. This will stretch the hamstring without risking pulling the muscles in the low back. We want to keep that neutral spine. Pull your chest forward. Push the left hip back and hold here. 3. It should be a very strong stretch behind the leg. 2, 1. Rebend both knees. Bring your hands onto your left thigh to help the back up. Hands can come to your hips. Lift your right foot up and cross the ankle over the left thigh. Hands can come in front of you and grab your elbows. Sink down. Feel like you're going to pull your elbows apart. So you're pulling against the elbows to open your arms. Keep your head lifted. Sink down neatly into like a little chair, and we hold 3, 2, 1. Release and let go. Good job. We're going to do the other side now. Hands come to your hips. Bend both knees. Hips go back a little bit. So you set yourself up perfectly in the trunk, in the abdominal, and in the hip region. Lift your left foot. Bring it behind you. And turn the heel in. The toes are out. This is the tribal lunge. It's very much like a warrior 2, a short warrior 2. Sink down, bending both knees. Right elbow to the right thigh. Turn your chest to your left. And this creates a twist in through the lumbar region. Turn your head. And if you'd like to go farther, raise the left arm. So it really twists into the spine, and especially the lower spine. Sink down and breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Looking down, lower the left arm and begin straightening the right leg. Slide your hands down as far as possible, keeping neutral spine. Avoid bending down, rounding over the leg. Keep the spine neutral, keep the neck neutral, and feel that deep stretch down the back of the leg. It's much stronger if you keep the back neutral. Lengthen chest forward, hips back. Holding 3, 2, and 1. Rebend the knee. Hands come to the thighs. Help yourself up. Hands to the hips. And we're going to lift the left foot, cross the ankle over the right thigh, sinking down. Grab your elbows. This time, left hand on top. Right arm underneath. Pull your arms apart, holding onto the elbows. Pull away. Sinking down into a nice, neat chair. And we hold. 3, 2, 1. Release and come to standing. Good job. Very nice. Hands come to hips. Bend your right knee. Bring it out to the side. You're either at the ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. Once you're there, it's tree pose. Raise your arms, lift your chest, lift your chin, and take deep breaths. Feel like you're lengthening through the waist and the low back. Arms come down to hips and lower the foot. Let's change sides. Left knee bends out to the side. You're at the ankle, higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. Raise the arms, stretch skyward, lift the chest, lengthen everything, and breathe. Hands come to hips and lower down. Good job. We're going to move to the floor now. So when you get onto the floor, we're going to be doing some very gentle mobilization movements and then some strengthening exercises. Hands to your heart center. Take a deep breath in, rise, and we'll fold. Elbows come to knees, stepping back to the plank. From the plank, lower your knees first, lower your chest, and then the hands can come underneath the forehead and you just relax. So some of the mobilization is simply with breath. I want you to feel that your breath moves into the ribs and the upper belly and see if you can feel movement at the low back, just with 5 deep breaths. Notice how the spine rises as you breathe in and falls back to earth as you breathe out. This movement is super important for the health of your spine and of your low back. Next, continuing just lying and breathing on your stomach, I want you to push your tailbone towards your heels. You'll have to squeeze your glutes very tightly together and push your tailbone towards your heels as you breathe out. Here we go. Let's breathe in. Breathe out, squeeze the glutes, push the tailbone towards your heels. Breathe in, release. Breathe out, squeeze the glutes, push the tailbone towards the heels. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out, squeeze, push the tailbone towards the heels. Good job. Relax, move the hips from side to side so you can really relax through the low back. Now, lifting the head, you can press down into your elbows to lift your head and lifting your shoulders up just a little bit. Raise your right leg and we'll hold here. This is some muscle strengthening. So you should feel very much the right-hand side of the lumbar region contracting to keep the leg up. 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg back down. And relax, move the hips side to side. You can bring the head back down to let go. Other side, lift the head, lift the shoulders, pressing down through the elbows. Left leg lifts and we hold. Notice here if there's a difference between the left and the right side. Typically we're stronger on one side. And you need to be aware of that because you'll have to work both sides evenly to get them to balance out. And come on back down. Head comes down, move the hips from side to side. Now, lift the head and shoulders once again. Stretch your left arm out in front of you. Lift the left arm and the right leg and hold. 3, 2, 1. Coming back down. Move the hips from side to side again. Good. Lifting the head and shoulders. Raise your right arm in front of you. Here we go. Right arm, left leg. And we hold. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back down, move the hips once again. Okay, lift the head and shoulders. We're going to be doing Superman, which is lifting both arms and both legs. If you feel at any point it's too much, go back to one arm and one leg, but in opposition. So right arm, left leg, and left arm, right leg. For the Superman, both arms out in front of you. Thumbs pointing up, take a deep breath in, raise both arms and legs. Again, if it's too much, just do one arm. And we hold. 3, 2, 1. Come back down. If you're doing one arm and one leg, switch now. Here we go, second round. Reach the arms out in Superman or one arm, one leg. Let's go, hold it up. 3, 2, 1. Coming back down. We have one more round. If you were doing one arm, one leg, just do one leg at a time for 2 breaths and switch, okay? Here we go. Arms and legs. Let's go. Up. We're holding. 5, 4. If you're doing one arm, one leg, switch now. 3, 2, 1. Everyone, bring your hands under your shoulders. Push up onto your hands and knees. Open the knees and come into child's pose. Here you'll get a nice stretch into the lumbar region and you can relax. So the difference here, you can stay in child's pose. The difference here is that you have a supported position for your low back in child's pose. And that's why we can round a little bit the low back. We shouldn't round it when the back is not supported. All right? So rounding the back while supported is fine. Hands to either side of the head. Push against the floor to lift the head. And let's bring the knees to one side, feet to one side, and let's come into a seated position. So for the low back, there are a lot of very important stretches as well as muscle reinforcing exercises. And one of the important stretches is of the inner thighs. So if you grab onto your ankles or your toes, coming to a seated position, and rock from side to side, from one hip to the other. I'm just going to mute everybody. Somebody's either just come in or has unmuted, so I'll just mute quickly. So rocking gently from side to side, you should be able to feel that the hips are relaxing a bit. And this also has an effect on the mobilization of the sacroiliac joint, which is a joint between the hips and the sacrum. And after a bit of rocking, sit up nice and tall and begin moving your knees softly. Lift and lower. Just a gentle, like a butterfly, lifting and opening its wings. Good. That's it. And then from here, keep the wings open. Really lift from the low back and lean forward. And you'll feel the stretch at the inner thighs. Feel like your chest is moving forward, the neck is lengthening, and you breathe deeply in and out. Close your eyes. Keep your back in a neutral position as you lean forward. You don't have to go very far. You just get to the point where you feel the stretch. And opening the eyes, you can release, lifting your knees, set your feet hip width, grab behind your thighs, and softly, you're supporting your back. You're going to roll down onto your back very slowly. And once you get there, turn the palms of your hands to the sky and just relax, taking some deep, slow breaths in and out of the belly. Then turn your palms down, and we're going to do a mobilization again. As you breathe in, press your glutes backwards so you create curve in your low back. And as you breathe out, pull your belly button in and tilt your hips under so you press the low back to the floor. So this is just an easy movement mobilization for the low back. Here we go. We breathe in, we curve, breathe out, press the low back down, and you're tilting the hips. Breathing in, curve your low back, press the hips back. Breathing out, tilt. And again, keep going. Breathing in, we do it 5 times total. Breathing out, press the low back down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Do it just one more time. Breathe in and curve. And breathing out, press the low back down. Belly goes in. Good. Get yourself back to neutral spine. Release your feet just to reset them. Sometimes we get all tight in our feet and our legs because we're holding the same position. So just move your feet a little bit. Press down into the feet to lift the hips halfway up into a half bridge. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze the knees together and lift the perineum. Breathe in, open the knees. Breathing out, squeeze the knees, lift the perineum. Breathing in, open. Keeping going, breathing out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathe in. 3 more times. Last one. Lower the hips down. Reset your feet. Elbows pressing into the floor this time. Open up your chest so you bring your shoulders behind you and lift your hips as high as possible. Engage into the legs, the glutes. Lengthen the belly at the same time and lengthen your neck, softening the jaw. And we hold here. Good. Raise your arms over your head and very slowly, one vertebra at a time, we lower the back onto the mat. Good. Once the back is down, open your feet as wide as the mat. Keep your arms behind you. Let your knees fall to your right. Take some deep, slow breaths here. Lifting one knee at a time. Let your knees fall to your left. Good. Lifting one knee at a time. Stretch your legs onto the floor, one leg at a time. Now, we're going to be doing some very deep abdominal work Arms stay over the head. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, pull your belly button in. Tilt your hips as we did before, as if you want to press your low back to the floor. Feel how the abdomen really tightens. And then release. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out, same thing. Hold your breath out. Pull the belly in. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Breathing in. Release. 3 more. Breathe out. Push the low back to the earth. Keep your arms over your head. Breathing in. 2 more times. Breathe out. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Hold your breath. Push down towards the floor. 1 more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Push down, tilting and tightening. And we release. Lift your knees up to your chest. Good job. And let's rock from side to side. All right. Keep your right knee up against your chest. Stretch your left leg onto the floor. Pull the right knee to the chest as far as possible. Lift your head, nose to the knee. Lower the head. Now flexing both feet, stretch the right leg to the sky. Foot is flexed as much as possible. Pull the leg towards you. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out again. Lift your head. See if you can get your nose to your knee. And release. Crossing the right ankle over the left thigh. Grab behind both legs if possible and pull the knees towards the shoulders. Bring your left foot to the floor, keeping the legs crossed. Let your knees fall to the left. Turn your head to the right. Spinal twist. Raise your right arm, roll to your left hand side. Grab a hold of your right ankle, push the knee behind you, hip forward. Right knee to the shoulder, roll onto your back. Squeezing again, both knees to the chest. And then right leg stretches onto the floor. Keep your left knee to your chest, pull it in tight. Lift the head, nose to the knee. Releasing, flex your left foot and straighten the left leg to the sky. Pull the leg towards you. Lift again, head, chest and shoulders, nose to the knee. And release. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Grab a hold behind and pull both towards the shoulders. Good job. Keeping the legs crossed, bring the right foot to the floor. Let your knees fall to the right, stretching your left arm out to the side, spinal twist. And then rolling completely to your right hand side. Grab a hold of the left ankle, the top leg. Press the knee behind you. You've got the quadriceps stretch. And then we'll bring the left knee to the left shoulder, roll onto your back slowly. One last time, both knees squeezing against the chest. Lift your head, nose between the knees. And lower your head down. 1 foot at a time, stretch the legs onto your mat. Set your hands onto your tummy to start. We'll do a short breathing exercise. I want you to fill your lungs 1/3 of the way full, then 2/3, then 100% full, and breathe everything out for a count of 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in a third. 2/3. Completely full. Breathing out. 10, 9, 8, 7. Control it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in 1/3. 2/3. All the way full. Breathing out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Breathe in 1/3. 2/3. Completely full. Breathing out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take natural, slow breaths. Allow your breath to calm you. Allow the breath to relax you. Feel the air moving in and out easily. No effort now. We'll do a short relaxation on the colors of fall. So imagine just now the deep color red, some of the leaves on the trees, deep rust color. And allow that color just to fill your whole body. Now imagine an orangish yellow of the leaves. Breathe in and out with that color and imagine it filling your whole body. Now imagine the green of the pine trees, a deep, protective green. Stays throughout all seasons. And allow it to fill your body, that color. Now a blue, like the bright, crisp blue of the sky in the autumn. Clear and fresh. Fill yourself with that color. And now a pure, spectacular white. Like the white of the clouds. Or the white of the coming winter and snow. Pure, bright, yet calming. Begin now to breathe more deeply and slowly. Bring yourself back. Blink your eyes a few times. And as you move to sit up, notice the colors that you surround yourself with. So move your fingers and your toes. Move your head, bring your knees to your chest. Place your hands down on the floor and lift yourself from the side to come to a seated position. And once you're seated, just take a look around and enjoy the colors around you. Let those colors nourish you. Let's bring our hands to the heart center and rub the hands together. Bring your hands over your face and softly tap around the eyes, shaking your hands out in front of you. And we'll do that one more time. Let's rub the hands together in front of the face and over the face. Gently tap around the eyes and shake out. And I'd like to just quickly massage our jaws. So bring your hands around your ears so the index and the middle finger are around the ears on either side. And then just slowly give yourself some circles. And it's a whole structure of muscles here that can be relaxed with these circular massages. It feels so good. And it can also affect the muscles of the face and the lymph of the face to help it drain. And then relax, hands to your heart center. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. Happy Halloween, and see you all soon. Namaste. Thanks very much.